How's it going there, everybody? It's Mr. Zen over here, bringing us a brand new One Piece chapter discussion. And for today's segment, guys, we're going to be talking about is One Piece chapter 860. And folks, holy snap, did the rising action just climax into so much exposition as to what's going to happen at the wedding itself that I personally want to know. I can't wait for next week's chapter, folks. The way the story is progressing just makes it more and more difficult. I love the way that Oda is giving so much detail and explanation that this is a Yonko's territory. There is no chance that Luffy might possibly win, but maybe with 5 seconds, maybe they will. Because this chapter, guys, we got introduced to the final Sweet Commander, the Katakuri Sweet Commander from the Charlotte family, Dogtooth Charlotte, the second in command. And holy snap, folks! Holy snap! Holy snap! This character here, guys, is a powerhouse and messes up the whole entire charade that Capone Bege was actually working to plot against Big Mom herself. And I'm stuttering because of the fact that all the information, all the exposition that we've been given on previous chapters, it's just being thrown out the window because Charlotte Dog Smoothie has a very powerful ability. But before I get to him, folks, let's start out how the chapter began. Now, the chapter did begin right there and then with the Sun Pirates actually, talking to Jinbei and explaining as to what's going to be going on later in the chapters itself and in the future setting as well. And it seems that Jinbei finally explained what actually happened with the roulette. And I have to say, folks, that was a really horrible definition of what Big Mom was actually doing to the Sun Pirates. Because remember, folks, we all thought that Jinbei was losing lives, but no, Big Mom turned it around and actually said that if he plays that game, because he's quitting Big Mom's crew, he's actually betting for how many lives the Sun Pirates are going to lose. And that makes so much sense because instead of taking Jinbei's life, she's going to hurt Jinbei's most pride and honorable possession, and that is the Sun Pirates that he also created from Fisherman Tiger, the legacy. And the thing about that is, Jinbei knows that he's not going to play that game. No. He's not going to do that. That makes no sense for him to do that. He's just throwing away his life. And he knows that Big Mom is just going to continue to harass Jinbei. So we know that Jinbei is going to make another plan. And that plan is going to come into fruition because of the fact that we are actually going to get to see the Sun Pirates actually make an escape during the tea ceremony, and they're going to try to escape during all the commotion. And because remember, the security is weakened, and of course security is none other than Capone Bege, but by that they mean that security wise of other Big Mom family members themselves. But that's what I'm kind of hoping to see. Now, Peckham's was actually introduced again in this chapter, and it seems that they don't even know what to do with Peckham's anymore because they just told Peckham's just do whatever you want, man. But they're gonna run away. I'm hoping Peckham's actually betrays Big Mom as well, because Peckham seems more like a character that's been on the side. Yes, he still has loyalty to Big Mom, but by betraying, I mean that he doesn't follow suit of what Big Mom is actually planning on doing, and that is taking down the Gurma 66. Gurma 66, folks, they're a pretty big powerhouse, but they are actually very, very well suited for the New World themselves. But continue on, folks, and then we finally get to Dogtooth Charlotte. Now, this is the part that I do want to talk about, folks. Wow. He has observation hockey, folks. Never before in my life have I seen observation hockey tuned to the best of the person's ability. Now, the reason I say that, because most of the time we're always thinking of Armin hockey, we're always thinking of the King Conquers hockey. You know, we're thinking all that, but not observation hockey. And this character is a very dangerous opponent. Charlotte Dogtooth, he has honed his observation hockey to the point that he can actually see in the future. Now that in itself is a very, very good tactical ability, folks. And the reason I'm very slowing it down, folks, because think about it. He can see into the future. Even if it's just 5 seconds, 3 seconds, even if you're still seeing a couple seconds in the future, you're still able to determine an outcome that you can possibly maneuver or change the course of history. Dogtooth Charlotte. I'm loving the way that the fact the character was introduced as well, because it seems that this character not only possesses you could say that the powerful ability, but it just seems that this character is the one that Luffy is actually going to be facing off against. And the thing about that as well is the fact that we know Luffy's going to come in and make a big entrance, and we know that he's going to try to get the distraction, and that's what Luffy is going to be trying to do, is actually gain Charlotte Dogtooth attention away from him. Now that's actually interesting, because it really makes sense as to why Luffy's going to be doing that. And why Luffy's the only one that's capable of doing, because he actually has Conqueror's Hockey. He's the one that's capable of actually facing off against him. And on top of all this, Caesar actually makes it's actually beneficial for him to actually be a part of this actual assassination plot, because even if Dogtooth actually knows a couple seconds, if poison comes in, it's still gonna affect him regardless. See, it doesn't matter, and that's the fact that all Capone's Bege's enemies and allies that are coming out together is actually coming into fruition. I love the way that Oda's actually going along with this plan. Now, what his bounty is, yes folks, Dogtooth's bounty is $1 billion. 1 billion berries. My mistake, I didn't mean to say dollars, but 1 billion berries, folks. Yes, holy snap, we know this is a major powerhouse. Oh man, I can see why this guy's got 1 billion berries. If that's practically saying that, yeah, man, you can take down somebody that can see the future, man. That is pretty intense. Holy snap. Holy snap. That's intense. But continuing on, folks, we have to then continue on as we later get to see the Garment 66 already preparing for the wedding. Ranger finally came onto the scene, and they're actually getting themselves just prepped up and getting everything ready. And it seems that Ranger's kind of worried that Sanji's actually going to go into the plan as well, as she's hoping that everything that's going on is actually going to become of what they all planned about. Now, we actually get to see some other guests that get invited. A mortician, we see a pleasure mistress, we see a big Mafia Don that comes in. We see the World Economic News, like you could say the author and owner of that business. We see you could say it looked like it was like a ship, like another rich, wealthy man. It seems that these wealthiest people that are from the underworld, they're here, and I'm loving the fact that they're being treated, because Big Mom's Charlotte Smoothie comes in, and she's and Perospero, they're giving them like the royal treatment. They gave him a staircase. Then Charlotte Smoothie, she like gave them a juice that was from a like a very, I'm assuming a very expensive giraffe, or a very extinct giraffe, or a very prominent animal, and they're drinking it as if it's like, oh, it's a fine delicacy. I mean, of course it is, but at the same time, it's almost cannibalism if you can think about it. Yeesh. It's kind of nasty, but it's interesting that these characters are going to be playing a major role. The one important character that I personally feel that might be the one that they should watch out for is, in fact, folks, Big News Morgan. Yes, folks, Big News Morgan is the one that we all should watch out for, because he's gonna tell the story throughout all the underworld. This is how Luffy is gonna get his news. This is how Luffy is gonna get more and more allies in the underworld, or enemies in the underworld as well. We don't know as to what might happen, but the point is, Big News Morgan. He's a very important character, and I want to see how he's gonna actually write everything that's gonna be going into Catastrophe. How it's gonna be seen through his eyes to gain the attention out of his economic news. And that's the thing about it, the fact that he's probably gonna exaggerate a lot, but the point is the fact that Luffy is gonna get high recognition, folks. Luffy is gonna become super famous after this, and I can't wait to see that, folks. But last but not least, guys, I think that's about it. That's it for the chapter, but most of it, guys, my god, Dogtooth, folks. This character, I am frightened as to what he's gonna be doing. I am frightened as to if the Garment 66 are actually gonna be facing off against this foe. I am frightened at the fact that this character can throw everything to shambles. I'm just wondering as well as to if the Garment 66 are able to at least get the gist of what's going on, or if they're going to be doing their own assassination plot as well, or if they're going to be trying to take down Big Mom in their own way. Because remember, like, it just seems that everybody's out here to get at each other's throats. So I'm just like wondering, like, what kind of future that Dogtooth is really going to be seeing. It's interesting. But like I said, let me know down in the comments below, guys. So what are you guys' thoughts on the latest chapter itself? Chapter 860. The wedding ceremony is going to take place in the next chapter, guys, and can't wait. And we can't forget about Pudding as well, as she's another powerhouse right there. Like I said, there's so many powerhouses, folks. This is just entertaining. But like I said, let me know down in the comments. And as always, guys, if you guys enjoy my content, don't forget to give a like, comment, share, and subscribe for more One Piece chapter discussions. And as always, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. But this is Mr. Zen, signing out.
Thank you.